you guys. Well, we're here to do a gossip dump for this week and also discuss the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills Season 13, Episode 9. Just a lot to keep up with, isn't it? I've been having fun. I went to Bath with my son. What's weird about Bath in the United Kingdom is it's named after the Roman baths. And so it's like a literal bath. I thought it was just called Bath, but no, there's pools of Roman water. And by the way, it turns out that the Romans had better spas than we do today from 2,000 years ago. Anyway, I'm going to get to the point, but let me share something with you first. Like, subscribe, and hit the notification button. I keep forgetting to say that. And also, don't forget on Sunday, this Sunday, to hit the podcast tab on my YouTube and listen to the free part of this Sunday's episode of Dishing Drama Dana Wilkie, because you're going to lose your wig. We'll leave it there. Lose it. Totally. Here I am with John Caden Flynn, my little baby boy. Look how big Ty Baby got. Anyway, that's the Roman baths behind me. I thought you guys would think that was a fun picture. So I think I want to start the gossip part of the show today with Morgan Wade. Morgan Wade denied that the song that she allegedly sang about Kyle Richards, this is what the fans thought, was about Kyle. It was about another famous person, she basically said. I'm paraphrasing. Now, her girlfriend, I think, or a girl she had some times with who went public, allegedly upset because Morgan Wade was showing interest in Kyle Richards, said that she was into older women, and she sort of believes that, Kyle and Morgan Wade's relationship is authentic. The word authentic was weird. Like, what does authentic mean? You know what I mean? That's a weird choice of words. I look for things like that. So the fans are like, no, we're not buying it. It's so obviously Kyle that she's talking about. But I want to remind you guys of something. I had done a deep dive on Morgan Wade a long time ago. It's always good to do deep dives on people, by the way, right when gossip starts, because it gets wiped by all the other press that follows. And usually the really telling stuff is before the person's become mainstream and has had time to change the narrative. So let me just remind you of a fact. So remember this little piece from 2019 that was part of Floyd Fest, which was a music festival that Morgan Wade played in. So when this article was written, Morgan Wade was 24, okay? And now she's 29. Now let me read you something. This is a reminder. Wade, who is 24, first sang her songs publicly in 2015 at Dogtown Roadhouse, where she debuted a song in effort to win back her boyfriend, Joe Link. It worked, and they are still together. Link, who is also from Floyd, played with the Deer Run Drifters, who have since disbanded, and with Wade's local band, the, quote, Step Brothers, on keyboard, mandolin, and harmonica. Plans are in the works for the couple to move to Nashville, so her backup band is currently interchangeable, Wade said. So a long time ago when I did this deep dive, I found that Joe Link had worked at the agency, okay, that he had gone to work for the agency in Washington. He still works there. This is him. So now here's the important part. Joe Link started to work for Mauricio a long time ago. I think the first time they publish about it is May of 2023. And I know Mauricio wouldn't be hiring Morgan Wade's ex-boyfriend to work for the agency if Morgan Wade had had some sort of affair with his wife behind his back that he didn't approve of. I also think that Joe Link must have established a relationship with Mauricio and Kyle through Morgan Wade, her ex-boyfriend and bandmate and other things. Besides the fact that the whole time I partied with Kyle, she never once hit on me, which is unusual because all my friends that are bi, when they get drunk, have hit on me. Really, truly. It's not me saying anything. It's just the way it is. Kyle never once did. So besides that reason that I don't think, again, that Kyle and Morgan are a thing, this is another reason I don't think Kyle and Morgan are a thing. Because her ex-boyfriend wouldn't be working at the agency. Now you add the commentary from her ex that went out with her for a year, who says that she's very convincing and she had a lesbian relationship with her and she likes older women and all that stuff. And you're like, but Dana, what about that? And to that, all I can say is that Morgan Wade probably is bisexual. That's it. That's all I can say about it. Now, on tonight's show, you're going to hear Dorit Kemsley say to Kyle Richards that she seems to be morphing into Morgan Wade. But see, I see something else. Since 2022, and I do believe that Kyle Richards has been friends with Morgan Wade for all the way back then, even maybe a little bit longer than that. I don't believe, by the way, we have the real story of how they met with the stalking and all that. It's just, I think, bullshit. But I've been waiting to say that to you guys. What I wanted to say was that Kyle Richards has been going through a lot of changes in the way she looks on purpose. So she started working out and getting in shape. She loses alcohol. She lightens her hair. She has her breasts reduced to be smaller. She goes ahead and she starts dressing edgier and being more fashionista. Less Target or Hermes, where can I get it, anywhere in the world. And this is obviously a very strategized move. Remember, her niece is Paris Hilton and is the queen of reinventing yourself. And I just think that maybe we're overlooking the obvious, which this doesn't have much to do with Morgan Wade. Morgan Wade is just a part of this transformation that Kyle's doing in her branding. But really, truly, this is Kyle driving it, not Morgan Wade. You guys, the ones that call her the puppeteer on the show. But for the purposes of the Morgan Wade docuseries, right now it works for Kyle to have this narrative be creating a lot of hype, so everybody wants to see it. Clever. She was filming the docuseries, by the way, at one of Morgan's concerts. So the truth is that we haven't gotten the truth. Now, let me move on to Mauricio and the lawsuit settlements that just happened around that mansion that he was a little sketchy about, right? A little sketchy. So you guys probably saw Mauricio walking with Alexandria Wolfe, quote-unquote influencer / stylist. She's in her early 30s. Everybody's like, oh my gosh, is Mauricio dating her? I don't think so, you guys. Number one, the same night that he was with this girl, he was holding and touching a blonde girl that he thought was hot too. Mauricio in this picture is clearly glad he got caught by the paparazzi. The paparazzi are like literally right up on top of them. They're smiling. She's hammered. She'd been at the same pop-up party. She's carrying her shoes because her feet are hurting her, walking around Aspen the whole night. And of course, this is where Kyle is a lot of the time, although right now I don't think she's there, but she's getting there to celebrate Christmas with the whole family. But let me just tell you this. Mauricio's into blondes, okay? And he was with other girls this night. And look at his body language. His hands are like in his pocket. He's a mile away from her. I mean, this is just clickbait. Okay, every time Mauricio's with a girl, we can't be like, oh, he's dating her. I'll make a bet with you guys. Okay, the girl that Mauricio's dating's blonde. There's many of them, and you're never seeing him with her in front of the paps, unless it's going to help his image in some way. So you guys all remember this whole thing with Mauricio Oberfield and Mauricio Umansky, where supposedly Mauricio took an offer on a property that was much less than what was being offered by someone else. And then he did a rehab on it and flipped it for like a $40 million profit. And it just was questionable for so many reasons, but it seemed to some people to be sketchy. Numerous lawsuits came out of it. All right, rather than go through all the different people that sued Mauricio over this property, let me tell you the results. So this is Mr. Hakeem, who just settled with Mauricio this last week, and he settled because basically, Mauricio looked like he was going to win under the statute of limitation argument that he was making. So they settled out of court. And obviously, I think some of the evidence wasn't good for Mauricio that Mr. Hakim was putting forward. That was the feel that I got from the LA Times article. But anyway, this sums it up. In light of current global events, including the shocking attack on the state of Israel on October 7th, Mr. Hakim decided his time and energy would be better served on matters other than this litigation. This led him to resolve the matter, said the statement, which noted that as part of the settlement, Umansky agreed to give money to a pro-Israel charitable organization, which Mauricio said he was going to do. So this is a little bit more on what I was talking about on the last slide. Perhaps the most central issue of the case revolved around when Umansky and Oberfeld reached their own agreements to buy the property. Umansky informed New Gema and the Department of Justice in June 2016, weeks before the sale closed and long after negotiations with Hakim had ceased, that he had only recently been invited to participate in the buyer's group. But Epstein cast doubt on that in a ruling this year, Judge Epstein, stating there were documents indicating, quote, concrete February 2016 plan for a joint partnership that had long been in the works. The court notes that the evidence does seem pretty clear that Umansky's suggestion that the discussions only started a little bit before May 2016 was simply false. And he knew it when he said it, the judge wrote. See, so Mauricio wasn't exactly like, oh, he's in the clear and that's why this is settled. So here was another settlement Umansky had to do on a lawsuit related to this property. Okay. Umansky was hired by New Gema to conduct the sale, with the first $10.3 million in proceeds going to the U.S. government and the remainder for the benefit of the people of the Equatorial Guinea. After it was reported in the media that Umansky was a member of the group that flipped the home in 2017 for $69.9 million, New Gema sued Umansky, accusing him of self-dealing that lowered the initial sale price. Umansky reached a settlement with New Gema, who is no longer in the U.S., that provided $6.35 million to a healthcare nonprofit working Equatorial Guinea as part of the asset forfeiture case that wrapped up in 2021. So Umansky also had to do a settlement with the gentleman who originally owned the property. But that's not the only lawsuit against Mauricio related to this property. There was this one too. The agency's insurance company also sued after the brokerage filed an insurance claim to help fund the New Gema settlement. The insurer accused Umansky of a conflict of interest in the deals and sought to rescind the brokerage's policy. An undisclosed settlement was reached. So, I mean, obviously, this deal didn't go down in a way it was supposed to, because there's so many settlements and so many lawsuits that came from all the parties involved with it against Mauricio Umansky. But now it's all wrapped up, but I just want to say that in the future, Mo better do things a little more properly. Well, Erika Girardi says she thinks she knows why Denise Richards was pissed off at her at the pot dinner party that Kyle Richards had that we covered in episode 7 last week, and I think even 6. And essentially what she said was that she had posted on Twitter, "Don't let the door hit your ass on the way out," about Denise Richards quitting, because Erika Girardi didn't appreciate that Denise Richards quit the show. And so because Denise chose to leave the show, she did that tweet. And that is why she felt that Denise Richards was upset at her, even though Denise said that it had to do with Erika Girardi a few years back, saying that she liked threesomes and all that stuff in front of her children at the other table, which didn't make a lot of sense to the fans, or Erika, or anyone for that matter. By the way, Denise Richards went on Bethany's show that she does and commented that the reason that she was so pissed that Dorit Kemsley commented that her jacket was upside down was because that was taken out of context, that Since Denise Richard started going on the show, Dorit Kemsley always nitpicked what she wore or how she looked or something wrong with her, and always said, like, you know, fix this, fix that, do this, do that. It made her really self-conscious when she was filming with Dorit. And she was like, here Dorit goes again, making me feel conscious about my jacket being upside down. And even though she knew it was upside down and wanted to fix it, she was so pissed because this was like the same thing that Dorit always did, make her feel insecure about how she looked on camera, Denise Richards. Now, Denise flipped this around and said, obviously, Dorit Kemsley is insecure or she wouldn't be nitpicking my outfits so much. It's like, why are you so obsessed with your appearance that like you have to nitpick every little thing that your co-stars have wrong with their outfits or whatever? And so taken out of context, it looked like Dorit was doing a nice thing for Denise, but Denise saw it for what she said it was, which was typical Dorit trying to make her feel bad on camera about something wrong. So we're going to see us in tonight's episode talk about Sutton's esophagus. Again, I can't believe this is a storyline, but it is. Without going too into it, Tiffany Moon from Real Housewives of Dallas, who's also an anesthesiologist, said that Annemarie's advice that she was giving Sutton was wrong and that she shouldn't be weaponizing her medical knowledge on the show. But I mean, I think Annemarie was just trying to cast. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. One of the tactics that Kyle and Dorit Kemsley are taking against Sutton Stracke at the moment is to call out that Sutton isn't as close to Kathy Hilton as she would like to make it look on her social media. And so Kyle is going to come in between Sutton Stracke's relationship with Kathy Hilton. She's already toxifying it as we speak. Kathy Hilton is so excited to set Kyle up with a new man that, believe me, Kyle will never have more power over Kathy Hilton than she does right now, because this is right up Kathy Hilton's alley to set Kyle up. Oh my, we're already at about 15 minutes, so don't worry, I'll do a quick recap for tonight. I don't think it, how much esophagus can we talk about, really? Well, one of the lighter moments on Real Housewives of Beverly Hills Season 13, Episode 9, is this date with Sal. It's the real breakout moment of the beginning of the show tonight. Sutton is talking with him. He's one of the guys that was selected for Sutton by her dating advisor, and it turns out that Sal is absolutely obsessed with his mother, and at least in the edit all we hear is Sal telling stories about his mom and Sutton just going, oh my gosh, how do I get out of this state, because he's just going on and on about his mother, and he's obviously an older gentleman, so you'd think he'd have more to talk about. He also mentions that he sweats a lot. Poor guy, obviously not very good at dating, but let's get him on the Golden Bachelor. Well, Kyle did say in this episode that she has been friends with Morgan for 2 years. They filmed around the beginning of 2023, so I guess Kyle has known her since 2021. I would have thought longer even, but cool. So Erika Jayne, Sutton Stracke, and Garcelle Bouvet go out for a single woman drink fest, get really drunk, and Erika Girardi tells the women that Denise Richards has a OnlyFans that she's naked on, allegedly, and it's a $7 bundle. And so everybody talks about how they think Denise Richards could actually demand a lot more than that. I'm sure that Denise Richards probably said that she wasn't naked on it, but they certainly don't leave that impression on the show this week. So what did Denise Richards get out of this last 2 episodes? Her OnlyFans got promoted, so now you know why she did it. I don't think Denise Richards minds taking her clothes off on movies or TV, no matter what she says. She has a great body, and people pay a lot of money for this kind of thing. I mean, I've had people ask me the dumbest things, and I don't do it, but they've said, like, what's your bra size, and I'll pay you. I mean, it's just so weird. I'm like, no, sorry. You'll have to guess. What can I tell you? Or that'll have to be a mystery for the rest of your life. You'll have to suffer with it. So then we move on, and Dorit is telling Kyle that she feels like her friendship is not great with Kyle at the moment. Kyle says that she felt that Dorit betrayed her at the reunion with Kathy Hilton. And Dorit's like, you're not really my friend anymore. You don't hang out with me, all these things. Now, I've said to you guys in the past that I felt that Dorit and Kyle's friendship really struggled a while ago and that they had stopped being friends. But I didn't think it was so much about their relationship as it was around the fact that I think Kyle started to feel that Dorit was a social climber and PK and Mauricio weren't as close as they used to be, because I think they tried to do some entertainment deals together and they fell apart. And you get a real sense of that in this scene because Kyle doesn't want to talk about her projects with Dorit, right? Her entertainment projects. So now you know that I was right. So then we end up at Crystal Minkoff's Taco Tuesday, which is in the freezing cold. They move it inside. The women start talking. Dorit and Sutton have an initial conversation about the fact that Dorit called Sutton kind of an alcoholic by saying she puts alcohol in her coffee. They resolve it quickly. You can tell that the producers aren't happy about the way that went down. They want it to be a little more intense. They're definitely playing with Dorit's head this season, meaning the producers aren't inviting her to events that Dorit would normally be invited to. So she's probably feeling like maybe something's going on. She's getting pushed off the show. All this type of stuff will, you know, make you want to perform on camera when you're next on. And the producers know that. So they're doing kind of that game with Dorit right now. So this might help you understand why she seems to come in so hot on this Taco Tuesday party. She's like trying to attack Crystal for spreading the rumor about her saying that Sutton had an alcohol problem. She's trying to attack Sutton about being inconsistent. And, you know, we see a bunch of other people at this Taco Tuesday event, which who knows might have been people trying to cast for the show is what I'm guessing. Kim Richards is there. Denise Richards is there. And we're sort of seeing, you know, this kind of like a casting scenario. So Dorit calls out something that's been discussed like 9 million times before this to the group, that Sutton kissed the driver. Garcelle says you're saying it in a non-funny, supportive way. You're saying it almost like you're trying to, you know, make it derogatory that Sutton kissed her driver. And she feels bad because she's the one who told everybody that Sutton kissed the driver. So Garcelle is on the defensive for Sutton because she feels like, oops, I knew I threw my friend under the bus a little, but this got a lot more legs than I thought. So the show ends with Dorit trying to stir up shit so that she can keep her position because she's feeling insecure by the producers. And so she's calling everybody out. It doesn't land well with Garcelle. Garcelle doesn't like the fact that Dorit uses the word attack against her, privileged, and now Dorit tries to apologize for it, but Garcelle isn't letting her because that's Dorit's normal way of getting out of things. So Garcelle's like, I figured you out now, and I'm gonna stop you from, you know, doing that. And so she won't give her an out and she just lets her sit there. Everybody is now upset with Dorit. They all jump on the bandwagon and Dorit is left there like, uh-oh, this didn't go the way I'd hoped. And Sutton then takes over the conversation and is like, I don't care if you guys talk smack about me drinking because I'm going on, you know, I'm going to be better than all you. And that's it. And Crystal's, she doesn't really add anything. She never does, in my opinion. And then, but some people like her. And then Dorit leaves because she can't handle what she started. She's not this character on the show, so she leaves. and Erika takes over. So, but before she goes, she does hand the hot potato, as Erika says, to Erika by saying, Denise, you need to tell Erika what the hell you were really trying to say at the dinner the other night when you allegedly had 102 fever, because she changes it that she wasn't drunk or high, but in fact was sick and had a fever. And so that's why she was acting so weird. And then Erika gets into it with Denise and finally reaches her breaking point. She just doesn't have the patience for Denise Richards, ways. And so she goes 0 to 60, and she goes right for the Achilles, which is Denise Richards' OnlyFans, calling out that she's now on it. Now, to be fair, Denise Richards was counting on the fact that her OnlyFans would be brought up and she would get something out of that. What she didn't probably like was that Erika brought up her daughter's OnlyFans. And that's what triggers Denise, really. Like, Denise was like, wow, I cannot believe you went for my daughter. And that is really what's happening in Denise's mind. Not the OnlyFans bring up that Erika does. It's the daughter. Stop trying to pretend like you're protecting your daughter's, virginal integrity when she's doing nudies on OnlyFans and getting paid for it. And that's where she goes with it. And Erika's like, I don't care. Like me, hate me. You know who I am. This is how I play. I play dirty. Which, by the way, I have to say, I don't appreciate Erika at all. As you guys know, I am not an Erika fan. But to be fair, she's right. You cannot not play dirty on this show. I mean, unless you want to be Kyle Richards. And the fans hate you anyway, because they know you're doing things underhandedly behind the scenes. So it's like you might as well do it the way Erika does it. None of these girls are your friends. This idea of like, well, we're really true friends under the surface is just nonsense. Once you're a year on the show, nobody's your friend. And on that note, I'll wish you guys a happy holiday. Oh, I caught the most amazing music. I went to a church where the first monarch was crowned and they were doing choir practice for Christmas, and I caught a little video of it. So I'll end this video today with that music to remind you that although no one really is friends in Beverly Hills, you can try, or you can have nice apologies that don't mean anything so you can fight again. Happy holidays, you guys.